Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Renato. Renato is from Switzerland, but he lives in Tenerife. So let's see what Renato has to say. Enjoy the interview. Renato, how are you doing today? You okay?
I am very good, thank you for asking.
It's a pleasure, my pleasure. My God, you know what? Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Switzerland. Initially,
really?
that's where I grew up. My parenting is from South America and from Italy.
My God, which country South America?
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Wow.
And you're from Brazil, some part, right?
I'm from Brazil, yes, I'm from Brazil. So you grew up in Switzerland?
Yes.
Which part, which city?
Basel. This is the top north part of Switzerland.
Is the German side?
Yes, exactly.
I
You're
see.
well educated.
I see. And so your mother is from Uruguay or your father?
My mom. My dad
And
is from Italy.
Oh, wow, what a mix. My goodness, amazing.
Yeah, right.
And why Gran Canaria?
Because when the pandemic started, we was experiencing the first lockdown in Switzerland, and for us it was we just started to move everything online. So my girlfriend and I am both teachers, guides, coaches, and so basically all of our clients, we just moved them online, and then we realized we can do that indefinitely. We don't have to switch back, Although we really appreciate to work with people locally, the situation didn't really relax itself that fast. So we just decided, you know what, let's just go south and stay there. And so that's what we did.
Amazing, interesting. You know what? Where are you based in Gran Canaria? Where?
Tenerife.
In Tenerife. Okay, I've been there. I've been there once actually on my birthday a few years ago. I tend to go to Gran Canaria, Maspalomas, Praia del Inglés, Las Palmas. Always, most of the time I've been there. But a few years ago, I went to Gran Canaria and I decided to spend the day in Tenerife. We went to the zoo. It's a very famous zoo there. So I spent the whole day there just checking out and something different. Renato, and what do you do for a living?
I am a personal coach, so I'm a performance coach. What I do is I help people to optimize their performance. When you are working, for instance, here sitting, talking to me, there is a couple of factors that play a role that you can do that in one quality way or not so much, right? So you're rested, you eat enough, you are physically active, your mental game, your mindset, and so forth. This is all playing a huge role, and that's basically where I help people to optimize their game.
I see. And before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me what's the best part of being a personal coach, in your opinion?
The best part is the payoff of a committed client. If someone or a workshop, if there's people working with me who are truly committed, and they are willing to go the extra mile and do what is necessary, then the payoff for me, the best payoff is to see how they develop and how they get better at what they do. That seeing their development is basically all that I need. And of course, the rest is also playing a role there.
I see. Okay. So through the journey, I'm going to ask some more questions regarding your career. Right? But for now, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Of course.
Amazing. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. My best friend is here, full of random fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay? Let's do it. Okay, Renato, ready for the first question?
Yes, I am.
Just to let you know, if there is a question through the game that you don't have an answer for, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, right?
No worries.
First question is, tell me something that you always want to do, but you are scared of.
That's a good question. What I am is spending a week alone in the woods, for instance. So I've done something similar, but not an entire week. So I think a week would be rather challenging, just alone someplace in the woods. completely without any tools, without any gadgets, just my body and my hands and my wits.
Wow. So you've done that before?
Yeah, something similar, yes.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about it, the experience.
So I was in Colombia, and I had my backpack, little bit of water, and my tent, and I just went and saw how far I could get. And it was basically, in total, it was a little more than 2 days where I just been out and about and trying to gather some food and whatever. And 2 days is already quite long when you don't have any kind of connection, you don't have anything that really helps you to go along a part of your wits. And so that's something that I'm still having in the back of my head.
That's amazing. Actually, I never thought about doing something like that. Wow, you just give an idea now. I love the experience. I mean, I think it's been an amazing, like, challenge experience for sure. Wow. Wow, I like that, actually. Just got to my head now. I'm going to keep thinking about that. Next question. Right, before the next question, what's the best part of living Tenerife besides the weather?
The mentality, for sure. So what I really appreciate around here is that people are way more simpler, right? That has it has both downsides and upsides, but it's easier to deal with because it's rather straightforward. People are it's much more simple-minded. Whereas when you go to more, like, say, more countries where there's a more developed mentality around, for instance, social economics, how to play a role with our environment and so forth, then people tend to have more complicated mentalities. Whereas here, there's, as I said, there's downsides and upsides, but the upside clearly is that you just get a very straightforward answer to most things. There's very little rada in the head,
I see. Interesting. Okay. Right. This one I think is going to be very easy for you. Do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person, and how?
Oh, I like that question. So let's ask the question differently, if I may. What is spirituality? Because that would then result in the answer if I am spiritual. Spirituality for me is truly looking inside and facing who I am, why I am that way, what made me the way I am. I believe that spirituality comes from facing my fears, my anxieties, my patterns, what makes me the person that I am, and looking to heal and kind of like realign certain patterns and stuff like that. So I would think, and I would like to think of myself to be on a spiritual journey. I am rather committed to trying to realign what made me so far. I had a rather hard childhood, and so what really played a huge role in my life is a lot of suffering, and that is reflecting in what I am doing. So basically, I'm trying to help people exactly because I have been suffering. Does that help?
I see. Right, Renato, you touching a topic that I was reading a little bit your bio, like on your Instagram profile. I tend not to check too much about my guests because I like to get to know my guests through the interview. But there was something that I got goosebumps now just thinking about. There was something very, very deep, very personal that got my attention straight away. And you just mentioned about being physical abuse as a child. Are you okay to talk about that? Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Your experience, of course, must be, I'm sure it must be like a very challenging. Of course, as I can see, I'm sure you took a lot of, a positive message out of that. And I'm sure you share your daily base nowadays. You just tend to live by day based on that as well to help other people out there. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And what's the positive thing you took out of this challenge journey as a child?
Okay, the reason why I am okay with talking about this and why other people may not be is because the first time it was with 16, 17 that I've been confronted directly with physical and mental limitations that was the cause of my abuse. And ever since, that is now around a little less than 20 years, I had to work with it because I would edge in society on and on. I would have big difficulties working in teams and so forth. So it was inevitable that I face it. The abuse basically was when I was an infant. So I was a couple of months old, where my like biological dad could not handle me crying and yelling and stuff like this. Just what an infant does. And while my mom was at work, he would strangle me and throw me to the ground and step on me. So there was a lot of more details to that I would not want to share, but I think that you get the gist, you get the idea of what that does to a growing life. So basically, the results was broken bones, and they still do hamper me in my development. And that was also the physical limitations that I was just referring to. And on the other hand, the mental limitations would eventually be that I would have difficulties opening up to people, that I would have difficulties expressing my emotions, that I would have, that I would face a lot of difficult situations where I feel that I am put down, from authorities, also in relationships, when I feel that somebody that I love, that is wanting to get closer to me, is kind of like pressing me emotionally. I would get that feeling really fast. So that was all elements that would eventually influence my personal development, and also the reason why I eventually chose to work with other people, because I could see the more that I was developing myself in regards to these limitations, the more I would see these limitations in other people, and the more I would realize there's so many people facing similar challenges, but not having a guidance or someone who is telling them, how to deal with that, much as myself, right? I didn't have a dad. I grew up without a dad eventually, and I had to go through therapy and so forth. And eventually that grew into a desire. It cannot be that so many people are facing such hardship without someone actually capable of helping them in a holistic way, and not just say, yeah, okay, you're sick, you just have to take this and that pill, So that was basically the positive takeaway. I believe we all face circumstances, relationships, and connections that truly help us to grow one way or another. The question is if we are able to face them.
I see. Right, Renato. First of all, thanks so much for sharing this experience. I think I'm sure people watching this in the future, they're gonna appreciate that as well. And some people, they might find themselves in the same situation as you were in the past. And for sure, seeing you talking about, I'm sure you're gonna encourage them as well to open up, or maybe to help themselves. Because those kind of situations, not easy to talk. You know what I mean? It's not very easy. And as you said before, just going through some therapy, some help out there that you find in a place that you can talk about. Thanks so much for sharing that. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Let's go in a better direction now. Let's go in a more better direction. Okay, I'm gonna play the music again. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, right, what's I enjoyed the most about the show, Renato? It's about, like, I've got all the questions here. I don't know which question gonna come along, and I believe they're always the right question always comes to the right person. I believe that, you know what I mean? And I'll look at this question for you now. Tell us about your earliest memory in life.
That's a very good question. My earliest memory is when I only got confirmed that by my mother when I was somewhat like 7-18. My earliest memory that I have vividly in front of my head is sitting on the arm of my mom. So she would just have me on her arm, standing in a hallway, and there is a woman coming down the staircase with very long blonde hair. And I remember that I was just like flabbergasted by this beautiful, long, angelic kind of being, like hair of this kind of angelic being stepping down and just stepping down these stairs. That's basically the first memory. And my mom would tell me later that I was around 2 months old or something. So wow. Really just prior to the situation then would lead to my deformations.
Oh, wow. Good one. Very good. Next question, Renato. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, I'll also look a little bit about your the work you do, your profession, your fitness, your career, fitness career, and there was something that caught my attention called, let me see, Bali Retreats. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so basically, the retreat in Bali is a transformative retreat of 9 days where my partner and I look to combine our knowledge to provide a ground for people to get inspired, to change and eventually develop themselves in a very condensed kind of container. So we are basically providing a vast amount of knowledge within these 9 days. There's like a huge amount of workshops where people get to learn about human dynamics, for instance, how we communicate, right? What makes me react to what you say, and what emotions are coming up, and so forth, for instance. So human dynamics, we are looking into certain grappling forms, because I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And we're also looking into physical work, so high intensity workouts. My partner is doing a lot of yoga styles. She's going to share a lot about yoga. We do meditative immersions where we are exploring trance states like shamanic journeying and so forth. So basically the collected knowledge of her and me is what we are providing in this 9-day retreat. And it is amazing what people can take away from such a short time, knowledge-wise, because they get to practice so many different things and ways to improve themselves. So the feedback was always very intense about what this would like put as ripples in the lives of people, because they get to really explore ways they have not done before, like movement and the ways to think, ways to solve problems, ways to interact, play with each other, acro yoga, and so forth. There's a vast amount of knowledge that we are trying to really just put out to people so that they can develop themselves further in their own tempo, like in their own speed right after them.
Very good.
The question?
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Right. Next question is, what hurt your feelings?
Generally, anything. What is hurting my feelings?
Yeah.
So one of the oldest triggers that I have is unfairness. There is no such thing like fairness. I understand that, and I have been witnessing that fairness is a construct that we are trying to play by and solve difficult situations in our life. But there is also a desire to balance out unfairness when I see it. For instance, I'm walking down a path and I see a child hit by her or his parent. This is very unfair to me because I cannot understand why the child is hit. There is, morally speaking, there's no reason why a parent should hit its child. But this very moment, this would hurt me because I can feel how the child is feeling. Maybe because I have experienced similar things, and that gives me the feeling of unfairness. So whenever I witness something unfair, unjust, that is hurting my feelings, and I want to react to that.
Absolutely. Right. Next question for you. Let's do it. Next question, Renato. Right. What would be your theme song if you had your own show?
I'm really bad at song names, but let me think. So one particular track that I like is, I don't know if you're familiar with Fort Minor.
No, I'm not.
So Linkin Park.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the front, I think it's the lead singer of Linkin Park that eventually created his own little band. It's not little. Anyway, so they're called so basically they created this track which is called Remember the Name, which I really like. I don't know if that would actually suit a show, but why not? I believe I could really do that track because I mean, you know, I worked with it for a long time. I've trained with it. I've been on the bike with that track. So yeah, I really like that one.
Very good. Very good. Next question. Right. Next question for you is, if you could be any age, what age would you choose and why?
this age right now, because I know what was behind me. I don't want to do that again for now. It's really like I'm happy to arrive here, and I'm really excited to be at the prime of my physical abilities, and everything is just really growing beautifully. And I'm also curious for what lies ahead. So this very moment, nothing else.
Very good. Good answer. Next one. Right, before the next one, of course, you know what I mean? I can see how much you enjoy your career, how much you enjoy what you do. But I'm sure there is a challenge part of it as well. What is the most challenging part of your job or career overall?
Being patient.
Why is that?
I'm not such a patient person. I mean, I've grown into being patient. Now I'm better at it. But I like to have it now and now alone, and even better yet, you know, an hour ago. So patience in how things happen, like that. My development needs time. That everything needs alignment, that it can happen, you know. So patience is a trait that I every now and again have difficulties with.
Are you work on it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, every day there's something. Yeah, relax, just let it go, let it happen, you know.
What is your star sign? Just for curiosity.
I'm a lion.
Ooh, like to be in charge. They patient.
That's where it is, yeah.
Next question for you is, what did you want to be growing up?
Several things. So I remember one thing that I always wanted to be is a police officer, until I realized that police officer cannot take drugs and do funky things. And that was basically around 15 or so, which I then decided, okay, I'm not going to be a police officer. Way too strict.
When you look back, could you be a good policeman right now at the time or not?
I believe so. Yes, I think it's very important that we have good human beings in the executive part of our society. You know, where which are really like morally sane to a certain degree, and saying like, yeah, okay, so this, let's just slide that one, you know, and not just be strict and aggressive and stuff like this. So I believe a good police officer is very, very important. You know, to make people feel safe and not be threatened by the people that are supposed to take care of them. You know?
I see. Okay, good one. Next question. Next question for you is, what is something you wish you could do every single day?
So the one thing that comes up that I wish that I could do every single day, I'm actually already doing every single day. I just like to do it a little more. I'd like to spend more time training jiu-jitsu and also doing tattoos. Basically, the two things that I appreciate the most. So tattooing and doing jiu-jitsu and working with people. And I mean, I already do that, but as we was talking about development, there's still stuff that I also have to take care of.
I see. You know, jiu-jitsu is very big in Brazil. It's quite popular in Brazil.
I know. Yeah. That's
I remember
nice, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Have been in Brazil before, by the way?
Yeah, in Sao Paulo.
Ah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Next question, Renato. Right, before the next one, when you think about Uruguay, yeah, what's the first memory that comes to your mind?
The first time I was there when I was an adult is the first memory that I remember, is driving into Punta del Este, where it's just very clean in comparison to the rest of South America. So I was in the bus and driving in there, and it was just looking as if I'm in a different continent. I would come from Bolivia, and Bolivia was a huge mess in the many parts, so it was very different. And I remember I drive around this hillside, and I would see this like what you call it, like skyline of Punta del Este, and it was beautiful to behold. Like it was really I remember that moment as was it was yesterday.
Amazing. So I believe your first language is German.
Yes, it is. Swiss
Your
German, in fact.
So is second is Spanish or English?
English. I would
English.
say, yeah. My mom didn't speak Spanish with us. She had quarrel with her dad, so basically she didn't really want to teach us Spanish. I learned it later when I was starting to travel alone.
I see. Okay. Right. Good question. What do you like the most about yourself?
That I always show up. I always stand back up. Like this is the one trait that I would like to teach other people, if anything, is to just always show up, always be there, you know. So I never back down. And whatever it takes, you know, just being there consistently.
Very good, very good. Okay, Renato, I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is your favorite place in the entire world and why?
I've been asked this question several times because I travel a lot, and I believe there's like I don't really have one singular place. I have to say, like, the one place that I really appreciated a lot above many others has been São Miguel, which is a island on the in the Azores archipelago, a little away from Portugal. It is just a beautiful island. It's just super beautiful. The food is nice. It's all grown there. Very calm, beautiful green nature. The only thing that I really had struggle with is like the winter time. It gets really, really, really stormy. So I have not witnessed that that a stormy time consistently. So there's like 9-10 days a typhoon just going around the island. You just believe like it's going to take everything apart. But the people living there, they build everything so solid that at the end, when the typhoon finally is leaving, it's all looking the same. So nothing is really gone. And this is, it's an amazing island. Why I like it particularly, it's because there's like hot springs all over. So you get to enjoy hot springs. It's a beautiful mentality. People are super simple. And the food is grown on the island. There's no labeling organic, but you see how people are growing it without any kind of like extras, and the food is distinctly tasting very, very organic in a sense, like very rich in flavor without people using any additives or anything. So is one place that I really like. There's many others, but that just pops up right now.
Very good. I lived in Portugal for 5 years before moving here. I was in Porto. In Portugal. Yeah, I was living there. Have you been there?
No, I heard a lot of good things about Porto.
You would like it. Actually, you'd like it. It's very beautiful. It's the second biggest city in Portugal. It's different of Lisbon, but it's more proportion. But it's very romantic. It's really nice. It's a different city right now. I arrived in Portugal when I was 19, 2002. So it's a completely different now. It's just low fare flights, you know. So the city is a totally different city right now. It's more live. It's full of tourists around. I'm sure you'd like it. I'm sure. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next one, I would like to tell me, as you travel around the world, what's the misconception that people has about Switzerland that is right and something that's totally wrong?
About Switzerland. So the biggest misconception that I found so hilarious is that people think that me coming from Switzerland, I just can give them a job like this. And that everybody going to Switzerland will just get a job like this and earn shitloads of money. So this is a huge misconception. And it goes the same way with people thinking that life in Switzerland leaves you money to spend as you like. You earn a lot, but you spend equally. And so that is something that people never hear about it. But like the living expenses in Switzerland are hilariously expensive. So, you know, that's the flip side. the thing that people are actually true about in Switzerland is the quality of services. So Swiss quality is as good as people expect it to be. This is something is where I am really happy, and I appreciate that privilege to be able to always revert back to Switzerland if I feel like to wanting to work a little bit, visit family, friends. I know that the quality and the cleanliness of services in Switzerland is excellent. It's really good.
And I sign underneath your statement right now because I've been in Switzerland and I was just like overwhelmed with the cleanness around. I was like, wow, that's amazing to be there. Yeah, everything.
Very orderly, yeah.
Absolutely. And this friend of mine, he's Swiss, but the French side. And I remember visiting him for the very first time. And I was in the airport from London flying for the first time in Switzerland. And I said, oh my God, I need to buy something for him, like a little treat. And I bought some little chocolate for him, like a little box of chocolate. When I got there, I was like, oh, there's a little treat for you. He said, William, you are so brave to bring chocolate for a Swiss person, because we have the best chocolate in the world. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? It was so funny. He was so fun about this. Oh my God, he put me in this spot. I was like, wow.
But I have to say, when it comes to chocolate, honestly, William, when I am considering the chocolate that I can buy here, because I'm initially a chef by trade, so I was working 10 years in the kitchen, and the chocolate you get here in a Mercadona supermarket, which is just a regular supermarket chain here on the island, is in many regards better than Lindt chocolate that I buy in Switzerland. It's very interesting. So chocolate nowadays is just, Switzerland is famous for good chocolate, and there is, but it's not the big brands that are good. You have to go to you have to go to individual little chocolatiers someplace in a beautiful chocolate. But what you can buy in the superstore is not it.
I think the people in over there, they're gonna be very happy. You selling the chocolate around Tenerife. They're like, oh my God, the best chocolate in the world, better than Switzerland. Let's buy chocolate in Tenerife. Let's buy chocolate in Tenerife now.
Yeah, and it also costs way less. So it costs you way less to buy chocolate there. Yeah.
I'll remember that when I go to Tenerife next time. Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah, go to Mercadona and to buy the 85% chocolate there. It's very good.
And for sure, you're gonna get 10% of the selling now from the company, yeah? Because we are selling.
No, I wish, and then I would make a little more promotions for it. No worries.
Right. Next question for you is: what is your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show, man. I have not been asked this question. So I think one of my favorite TV shows was Jericho. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Right.
It is an American, I think it's an American production. And it's a post-apocalyptic event. So one of these kind of TV shows. And it basically, what I like about it is that it plays around the idea that there is no electricity on the planet.
Oh, wow.
And so I really liked this TV show because it's very simplistic, and you can really feel what it would be like if there was no electricity. And I kind of like that idea. I mean, I really appreciate what we have here, that we can have this conversation. Thank you so much for all the technology and stuff. But this thought, and that they created a series around it, is something that I really liked to play.
Very interesting. Renato, ready for the last one?
Yes, I am. Keep it up.
Let's do it. Last question. Right, before the last one now, tell me, as you have a partner, what's the most beautiful lesson you learned from her so far?
Authenticity. I believe that she is one of the most authentic people that I know, in good and in bad. Because I dealt with many mental, things in my life. What I always feel when somebody's lying, or when somebody is insecure, when somebody is inauthentic, and this was a big job for me to allow this and let people be without just pointing out, hey, I see that you're lying. I see that you're not authentic and stuff. And she does not do that. Sometimes she's very crazy and chaotic, and you know, it's difficult for her to really work with her emotions, but she's very true. And this is the only kind of people that I want in my life. I don't want to, like, this close anyway. So really, the people that are very true with their emotions and just, yeah, now I feel shit and I don't know what I do with this and blah, blah, blah. I can deal with that. What I cannot deal with is somebody is making up how he is, you know? Yeah, I'm happy now. No, you're not, man. Like, you're bored to shit, you know? So that's something that I really, really, really appreciate about this woman.
Oh, very sweet, very sweet. She'll be very happy to hear that. Right. Last question for you is, who do you count the most for help overall?
Then I'm not the person who asks for help, honestly, Will, because I am, as I've been telling, I'm not that good for asking help. What I made a habit of is that I meditate usually when things are really crazy. I just sit down and close my eyes and kind of like ask that the right thing is happening, and usually that is then happening in one way or another. It also gives me assurance that I have the tools that I need to handle the situation at hand. I don't know if that is a satisfying answer for your question, but yeah, that's
it totally is. Absolutely. I totally understand your point. I think the whole aim of the show as well, there are no right or wrong answers. It's just what you think was your point of view. So and I love the answer as well. It's an honest answer, you know. There's no like right or wrong. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind, okay? Quick thinking.
Let's do it.
Let's start with money.
Abundance.
Love.
Crazy.
Family.
Love.
Sex.
I like.
Life.
I love.
Oh, politics.
Yeah.
Religion.
Yeah, it goes the same way. Boring.
How about fear?
Important.
Okay. How about friendship?
Value.
Desire.
Curiosity.
Regrets.
I don't have.
Success.
Is a mindset.
I like that. Wish.
As much as you can.
Happiness.
Is a choice.
Like that. One word for Uruguay.
Yes.
One word for Switzerland.
Cold.
One word for Tenerife.
Good.
And one word for personal coaching.
Passion.
Very good, very good. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, what is the most beautiful thing about Renato, and what's something that he still needs to improve on? What do you think she'll tell me?
So I like that she likes my facial expressions. I can get really funky with my face, like make some funny expressions. So I like to make her laugh. It's something that I really find enjoyable. I enjoy when she's happy. So she already told me that she likes that a lot. I don't know if it's the one and only thing, you know. But, and what I need to improve on is obviously working on my trigger response when I'm responding to her triggers. So when she is emotional, when she is triggered by something, there is this moment where my patience wears thin, and then I get triggered as well. And I believe that is something that she would approve when I say that I have to work on.
Very good, very good. Right, let's play now Renato and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. You can ask me a question.
Play the music? Are we gonna play the music?
I want to see you dancing there. Let's see you dancing. Wow, what a move. You can ask me a question now.
Why this show, William?
Right. Let's book another hour to talk about that.
I wish if I can choose, I would like the answer in one sentence. Why this show?
All right. Okay. One sentence. Wow. I love the way you put it out, Nand. Right. I'm gonna put something that is in my Instagram notes. It says, everything is possible. Everything in life is possible. It's so, in the end of the day, it's just down to us to believe it, to go for it, to embrace it, and to feel it. In the end as well, to believe it. So that's the whole thing about the magic box. It's my life. This is my life. When I think about William, this is me. This is my life. That's, if I would see someone doing this, I would feel like, oh my God, I'd love to be doing that. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that I came to this world for this, Renato. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I think that's a present that was hidden, that I looked for it through my life. I remember like asking people when they say like, oh my God, you know, when people, they go like, oh, I love what I do. I love that's what, and I always was wondering through my life, my God. And I could do different things. You know, I think the human being, we have so different capacities. We can fit ourselves in different areas and different careers. But honest to myself, I couldn't find something that I say, okay, that's what I want to do for life. And that's something that it's 24 hours. I go to bed thinking about, I wake up thinking about, I'm eating thinking about, you know what I mean? Even when I'm enjoying my life, like with my friends, it's always with me. It's following me every day. So that's something that I always want to do. So that's my life. That's the phrase. That's my entire life.
So basically, the show is your life, is what you love about life.
Yes, that's what's in me. If I could like define myself, if someone always define yourself in one word, really in the magic box, or in one sentence, I would say really in the magic box, because that's for me. I like doing that like for 24 hours, like just going to sleep and come back again, put the camera on, eat and quick and just come back. I think it's a gift. I think it's a gift for me to be able to connect with so many people around the globe, sharing stories, you know what I mean? And let them share their stories to other people to connect that with them as well. Imagine how many people are gonna connect with other people. And I've seen so many people already connect with each other, you know what I mean? Through the show. So I think that's a gift. And I'm so grateful for last year, because it's a present. It's my life. That's my life. That's the magic box. Good answer? Renato, did you have a good time?
Very much so. I thank you, William.
No, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. I know you're a very busy guy. Thanks for sharing your memories in life, you know what I mean, your positivity, your negativity. I think that's what life is about, for us to talk about, sharing, connect with people, and be able to, you know what I mean, to live, you know what I mean, to face our desires, our fears, our happiness, everything. I think life is about sharing, facing life. You know what I mean? Whatever comes, let's take it. Let's feel it. Let's share it. Let's learn. You know what I mean? And grow up and be a better person.
Absolutely.
But before you go, I'd like to share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
I believe what inspires me, or say, what in my life is mostly about, is trusting process, trusting that everything happens for a certain reason, or no reason at all, but everything just happens. The more we flow, the better we go, you know? So potential comes through clarity. Potential comes through trusting the process. If that is something that helps people.
Absolutely. Feel it. As I said before, feel the trust and feel it and enjoy as well. You know what I mean? That's the best part. Enjoy the process. You know what I mean? That's the best part of it. Renato, I could be another hour with you. Thank you so much for the interview. Thanks again. My God, how amazing to connect with someone full of stories to tell, full of, you know what I mean? It's just amazing. Again, back to my answer. It's just amazing. Thank you so much. Alvio, all the regards for you, for your part, and keep in touch, okay? We're connected now. It's difficult to go now. Let's go. Take care.
So much, William.
Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.